Well, I'm Bob Klenda, and of course, Texas right now has got quite a draw. Golly. So, and of course, yeah, fortunately I'm here because of Academy of Western Artists who have treated me pretty darn good. Yeah, getting to be a part of last night's celebration was something real special. And so that brings me to Texas. Well, for me, I got, of course, out of high school and got into business college, and then took a job in eastern Utah and got around some cowboys and that appreciated Hamley saddles. And they were real good hands, and I had confidence in them, and that sort of thing. So I took a great appreciation for Hamley saddles, and of course, like that, seeing a Hamley catalog, the flower carving and that sort of thing. I had no idea one carving from the other carving was carved, and that. So, there was no, okay, this is good or that isn't good, and that growing up, when I was growing up, Sears and Roebuck catalog, I spent a lot of hours looking at the saddle pictures, J.C. Higgins saddles, and so forth. Some of them were carved. It could have been a carving that big, and wouldn't have known that from any other carving. And so forth. So, that was pretty much my background, beginning of it. And that my brother, he got drafted into the service and, of course, got to a craft shop, and he sent home a wallet he'd made. And so I decided when I got drafted, I was going to go to craft shop. And so that's what I did. And so I was in my, early 20s when I first got around leather carving and leather work and that sort of thing. One of the basic things is just the fact that we all started out just like that, down here, with little by little, you pick it up, and you pick it up and you start improving by observing, listening, asking questions, and taking and placing confidence in where you're at, rather than, okay, I want to be like this person or I want to be like that person. Just like that. Start out with whatever capability you've got, and then try to get around people or information and take where you're at and go forward. People typically look at the overall. In other words, any one of these pieces here, when you look at that and you try to do that, you might say all at once, it's self-defeating. Whereas if you look at that, or whatever piece you're going to make, the first thing is, the creation of it. Okay, lines and what they do, and understanding those lines, and then, of course, goes to the swivel knife. Okay, that swivel knife has to do such and such. Holding it this way or that way, and those factors, you've got to follow certain right things if you're going to get good results. So consequently, you just go at the step that it takes. You go through the steps and you get a completed. But if you try to start out and do the completed before you've done the initial steps, it just isn't going to turn out. I see it as I work with people. we could call it excuses, for instance, and that, okay, they've done whatever it might be that they've done, and there's something about it that isn't quite, might say, really good about it, and so forth. But rather than to recognize what that is and just go back to why it's that way, why there'll be an excuse come out, you know. I didn't use the right leather, or I used the wrong finish, or I dropped my tool, whatever it might be. And that, whereas if we honestly face what we've done, how we've brought it to that point, why, we'll always keep improving. You look at your own work, or you look at somebody else's work, you know, Jim's work, for instance, here, or if it's my work, and that, okay, what is good about it? What is not so good about it? And that, we've all got a style, whatever it is. Okay, this person's appeals to somebody else, this person's appeal is to someone else. So different styles have their places, but what they've done in there makes a difference as to its overall, and the more appealing it is overall, the more it's going to appeal to more people. And that, but there's certain things that have been done to make it that way, and the person that puts together more of those right things, the more appealing that work is going to be. And that, so whatever level they are in, the more they can recognize what adds to the appeal, the more they can advance.